If you're over 60 and struggling with belly fat, it's likely not your fault. You may be following outdated advice and making one of three common, seemingly healthy mistakes. A leading doctor reveals what really works for our bodies now. We identify each mistake, explain exactly why it holds on to visceral fat, and, most importantly, give you the simple, science-backed fix for each one. By the end of this hour, you will own a clear 30-day plan to correct your course and finally see the results you deserve. Let's define the stakes quickly. We are not focusing on minor changes. Visceral fat is the deep, dangerous fat wrapping around your vital organs. It is highly active. It releases chemicals that spark systemic inflammation throughout the body. This inflammation is strongly linked to heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and specific cancers. Reducing visceral fat is one of the most powerful actions you can take for a longer, more energetic life after 60. Your body is prepared to make these adjustments. It simply needs the correct signal. The frustration is real. Dedicated women trying to be healthier, yet their bodies treat their efforts like a threat. Why do the diet rules we mastered decades ago now send the completely wrong signals to our seasoned, wiser metabolisms? If you feel dedicated but stuck, you are in the right place. We will stop fighting our bodies and start nourishing them strategically. Before we unveil the first key mistake, take a second to subscribe to Savvy Seniors. We craft simple, uplifting strategies for health and joy, designed specifically for women 55 and beyond. Join our community now so you never miss an actionable plan that fits your life. Let's dive immediately into mistake number 1, believing that extreme calorie restriction or meal skipping is the fastest route to fat loss. This strategy feels logical. Eat less food, lose weight. This may work short-term for a young, highly active person. For women over 60, it often backfires spectacularly. As estrogen decreases post-menopause, our bodies become acutely sensitive to perceived stress. When you severely cut calories, or worse, skip meals entirely, your body registers an immediate threat. It thinks a famine has arrived. But what happens when your body perceives a famine? It immediately locks down. It clings to every calorie it has. It conserves energy fiercely. It lowers your resting metabolic rate. You begin burning fewer calories just to maintain your existence. Crucially, skipping meals, especially missing morning protein, causes sharp blood sugar dips that unleash the powerful stress hormone, cortisol. Cortisol is the master villain in the storage of visceral fat. When cortisol remains elevated over time, your body literally instructs fat cells, store this energy instantly and prioritize storing it in the abdomen. This is the fastest access during a survival crisis. Your disciplined attempt to eat less ends up giving your body a direct command to hold on to the most dangerous kind of fat. We see this pattern constantly. A woman skips breakfast, eats a minimal salad for lunch, and then crashes by evening, triggering overwhelming hunger and uncontrollable snacking. This destabilizes insulin and bathes the body in cortisol. It is the perfect recipe for deep abdominal fat storage. The fix is not starvation. The fix is the opposite: consistency and highly strategic timing of nutrition. We must send a clear, strong signal of abundance and safety. Here is the doctor-approved fix from mistake number 1. Optimize protein pacing. Protein pacing means prioritizing high-quality protein evenly distributed throughout your day, starting at breakfast. Protein is the most challenging macronutrient for the body to process. It requires the most energy to digest. This naturally boosts satiety, keeping you full for hours. It is also essential for maintaining lean muscle mass, which is your metabolic furnace. Losing muscle means losing your natural ability to burn calories efficiently. How much protein do we need? Recommendations for women over 60 suggest aiming for 25 to 30 grams of protein at each main meal. This threshold is critical. If your breakfast offers only 5 grams of protein, the famine signals persist. A high-protein breakfast stabilizes blood sugar from the moment you wake up. This immediately smooths out the morning cortisol spike, neutralizing the stress response and preventing the mid-morning slump. Think of protein as your body's anti-panic button. Let's define what 30 grams of protein looks like practically. It requires intentional choices, but not excessive food. It could be 2 scrambled eggs paired with a half cup of cottage cheese. It could be a generous serving of Greek yogurt blended with a scoop of collagen or unflavored protein powder. If you prefer savory options, a hearty portion of lentil or bean soup works wonderfully. Your primary focus for the next 30 days is simple. Commit to eating a protein-rich breakfast within 60 minutes of waking, aiming for at least 25 grams. This single action triggers a powerful chain reaction. You will gain stable energy, you will drastically curb the urge to snack, and your body will stop hoarding visceral fat out of panic. This is foundational. We are building metabolic security. Now let's transition from nutrition to activity. This addresses the common frustration of women who are active but still can't shift that abdominal fat. Are you putting in the hours but getting zero results? Mistake number 2, relying solely on long, steady, moderate cardio while ignoring short bursts of strength and everyday movement. This mistake stems from the outdated idea that we must run off fat by logging long hours on the treadmill or elliptical. If you are putting through an hour of steady cardio 3 times a week and seeing no fat reduction, your body has likely adapted, reducing its efficiency. Furthermore, long periods of sustained cardio, especially if you're undereating, can heighten the chronic stress cycle, once again elevating cortisol. When cortisol is high, the body resists breaking down fat. It prefers to use stored glucose or even dismantle precious muscle tissue for fuel. We must protect muscle at all costs. Muscle tissue is vital for metabolic health. After 60, muscle loss, called sarcopenia, speeds up. If your exercise routine fails to challenge that muscle, you are diminishing the very engine that burns energy all day long. What is the correct movement signal for our bodies now? It is twofold: short, powerful muscle engagement and relentless everyday activity. Here is the doctor-approved fix for mistake number 2. Prioritize gentle resistance training and maximize NEAT. NEAT stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This is the energy expended doing everything except intentional exercise: standing, pacing, gardening, cleaning, and fidgeting. Research confirms that maximizing these micro-movements is often more effective for visceral fat loss than a single high-intensity gym session. You don't need a gym to apply this fix. We focus first on gentle resistance. Resistance training is the only way to signal to your body that it must build and preserve muscle. This does not require lifting heavy. We use body weight, resistance bands, or light dumbbells. 5 to 10 minutes, 3 days a week is enough to send that powerful muscle-building message. Try a simple rotation: chair squats, wall push-ups, and a resistance band row. The goal is challenging, managed intensity. Keep the sessions brief to prevent the sustained cortisol spike associated with hour-long sessions. The return on investment is enormous. Maintaining muscle increases your base calorie burn around the clock. You are fundamentally upgrading your energy output capacity. Next, integrate NEAT. The biggest threat to metabolism is prolonged sitting. Do you sit for more than 45 minutes straight? Set a quiet alarm. When it sounds, stand up and walk around the room for 2 full minutes. Talk on the phone while standing or pacing. Park your car further from the store entrance. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. These consistent micro-movements stop your metabolism from sinking into a sluggish state and maintain healthy insulin sensitivity. Are you willing to make small movements a non-negotiable part of your day? Your key takeaway for this mistake: add 10 minutes of gentle resistance training 3 times a week and interrupt every 45 minutes of sitting with 2 minutes of purposeful movement. Focus on challenging capability, not burning calories. Feeling strong and capable, lifting groceries easily, or bending down without hesitation is the metric that truly matters. But there remains one deeply overlooked mistake. It involves an invisible world inside you, the ecosystem in your middle that dictates much of your health. Mistake number 3: failing to acknowledge the profound link between gut health and stubborn visceral fat storage. You can be eating clean, hitting protein goals, and exercising correctly, but if your gut microbiome is imbalanced, you may still struggle with persistent inflammation and abdominal fat. The gut is far more than a digestive tract. It hosts trillions of bacteria directly governing your immune system, mood, and metabolism. When the balance is upset, a condition called dysbiosis, harmful bacteria flourish. These bad strains thrive on simple sugars and refined starches. As they feed, they produce inflammatory compounds that weaken the gut lining. This creates chronic, low-grade inflammation throughout your entire system. This inflammation acts as a silent trigger. Remember how inflammation and cortisol promote visceral fat storage? An unhappy gut sends continuous distress signals. It disrupts your body's ability to manage insulin efficiently. Worse still, some dominant harmful bacterial strains are highly efficient at extracting more calories from the food you eat compared to beneficial strains. You are getting more fat-storing potential from the same amount of food. After 60, our microbiome naturally tends to lose diversity. It requires intentional nourishment. This mistake is often why all your other healthy habits feel powerless. Is your invisible ecosystem sabotaging your best efforts? Here is the doctor-approved fix for mistake 3: nurture your gut with the 3 F's: fiber, fermented foods, and flavonoids. We need to aggressively feed the beneficial bacteria and starve the harmful ones. The single most crucial nutrient for gut balance is fiber. Fiber is the preferred food source for the good bacteria. It helps them multiply, pushing out the inflammatory strains. Most adults over 60 consume far too little fiber. We should aim for 25 to 30 grams daily. The second F is fermented foods. These directly introduce live, healthy bacteria into your digestive system. Look for plain yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, or kimchi. A small daily serving provides a potent probiotic boost without relying solely on supplements. The final F is flavonoids, which are the vibrant, colorful compounds in deeply pigmented produce, also known as polyphenols. These compounds are rich in berries, dark chocolate, green tea, and vegetables like peppers and purple carrots. These polyphenols function as powerful prebiotics, feeding the good bacteria and helping them clean up inflammatory waste products. Your key takeaway for this mistake: purposefully integrate the 3 F's every day. Add a serving of fermented food to breakfast or lunch, perhaps plain kefir with chia seeds. Then maximize non-starchy vegetables at dinner. Incorporate a handful of beans, lentils, or oats for a major fiber increase. When your gut ecosystem is balanced, inflammation subsides, insulin sensitivity sharpens, and your body gains the ability to finally release that stubborn visceral fat storage. We have identified the 3 mistakes: the metabolism crash from undereating, the loss of muscle from ineffective movement, and the chronic inflammation from a struggling gut. Understanding the mistakes is the first step. True success, however, comes through consistent implementation. We avoid overwhelming the body by implementing the changes gradually. We layer the fixes week by week. The 30-day course correction plan. Week 1, Master Fix number 1, the protein foundation. Your only focus for the first 7 days is the morning protein signal. Consume 25 to 30 grams of protein within 1 hour of waking. No matter what else you change, prioritize this habit. Notice how stable your energy becomes and how much easier it is to bypass the mid-morning snack. You are successfully building the core metabolic stability for the entire plan. Week 2, Integrate Fix number 3, gut nourishment. Your energy is now stable thanks to the morning protein. We layer in the gut health fix. Continue your protein foundation, but now focus on incorporating the 3 F's. Aim for 1 serving of fermented food daily and significantly increase your vegetable intake. Target 2 fist-sized portions of non-starchy vegetables at both lunch and dinner. This is the quiet work of reducing internal inflammation. Week 3, Introduce Fix number 2, gentle strength and consistent movement. With your nutrition foundation set and inflammation easing, your energy levels are naturally rising. This is the ideal time to introduce the movement fixes. Continue fixes 1 and 3. Now add your 10 minutes of gentle resistance training 3 times this week. Use that timer. Stand up and move for 2 minutes every 45 minutes. These microbursts preserve your muscle and maximize your caloric burn for hours after the activity is complete. You are actively turning your metabolism into a more efficient fat-burning system. Week 4, Consistency, Sleep, and Stress Mastery. This week is about locking in all 3 fixes, protein pacing, gut nourishment, and resistance training, while sharpening the final metabolic tool, restorative sleep and deep stress reduction. Remember cortisol, the visceral fat promoter? We manage it through food and movement, but deep recovery requires sleep. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of high-quality sleep. Eliminate bright screens 1 hour before bed. Practice 5 minutes of mindful breathing or simple reflection before you turn in. These quiet routines profoundly lower cortisol, allowing your body to repair, recover, and efficiently break down fat while you rest. By the end of these 30 days, these fixes become automatic. You will feel remarkably stronger, more energetic, and the reduction in visceral fat is the rewarding outcome of prioritizing optimal internal health. Some women over 60 face specific barriers that can complicate these fixes. Let's address 2 common concerns immediately. First concern, I have significant joint pain and limited mobility. I cannot safely do squats or push-ups. This is completely understood. If high-impact movement causes pain, we adjust the approach entirely. Water exercise offers wonderful resistance with 0 impact. Chair yoga or seated resistance exercises using light bands secured to a doorway or under your feet work powerfully to challenge and maintain muscle. The core principle remains: challenge the muscle gently, consistently. Your body responds to tension regardless of whether that tension comes from a heavy weight or a thick resistance band. Identify movement that brings you joy without pain and commit to it. Second concern, this sounds expensive. Protein powders and special foods might be too costly. The power of this plan rests on simple, affordable whole foods, not specialized supplements. Protein pacing can be achieved affordably with eggs, plain cottage cheese, beans, and lentils. These are inexpensive staples that deliver maximum nutritional density. Fermented foods are often cheaper to make at home, but a small regular purchase of plain Greek yogurt or basic sauerkraut provides tremendous probiotic value. You are not buying health. You are choosing smarter, foundational foods you already have access to, optimizing their timing and combination. You have spent too much time following the restrictive, hard rules of old-school dieting. Now is the moment to embrace the science of nourishing and honoring your body. You deserve a strategy that works with your biology. By correcting these 3 common, deeply ingrained mistakes, by sending signals of safety, strength, and balance, You are completely transforming your body's ability to regulate hormones and manage dangerous inflammation. This is the true engine of sustainable visceral fat loss. You are not just aiming for a smaller waistline, you are increasing your vitality, protecting your heart, and ensuring you have the robust energy to fully savor the coming decades of your life. Take this 30-day challenge seriously. Commit to the gradual, layered changes. Remember the profound payoff: stabilized energy, reduced systemic inflammation, and a significant advancement toward a healthier future. If this video has provided you with a clear, actionable plan, please take a moment to hit the like button. Sharing it helps us reach more savvy seniors who deserve to feel this healthy and confident. And if you haven't yet, subscribe and ring the notification bell so you always receive every new piece of evidence-based health and joy we release. You possess the knowledge now. You hold the map. The time for fighting your body is done. The time for intelligent, joyful nourishment has finally arrived. Start your correction plan today.